Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Happy Good Friday to those of you that are into that sort of thing. I bet plenty of people are into those Easter egg businesses, which is going to go on. Anyway, so a few days ago, how many times does a video start with? A few days ago, I did a video about our favourite director, Cathy Yang of Birds of Prey, who was being interviewed. I imagine the interview was actually meant to promote the fact that Birds of Prey was now available on demand. But, it just turned into me, me fluff pieces, talk about me. And Cathy Yan tried everything that she could. Everything that she could, played every victim card she possibly could to try and deflect the fact that Birds of Prey was a huge flop. Massive flop. And I've had people go, how can it be a huge flop if it had a budget of 85 million and it took 200 million? Because they don't take into consideration all the other things, the sales, marketing, all the other. And then they say, oh, you put advertising and marketing separate, but advertising comes in the marketing bracket. Ultimately, it does. But because advertising is such a significant proportion, and because marketing alone does not just cover advertising, it's good to separate the two, because there's a marketing element and there is an advertising element, even if it does ultimately come under the same bracket. So they're trying everything that they possibly can to try and deflect. They don't take into consideration things like the studio's own projections on how a movie is going to be in terms of revenue takeover. So I imagine they had Birds of Prey. Obviously, this is a guesstimate, but I absolutely imagine they were thinking 500 to 700 million for Birds of Prey. I really do think that's what they were thinking in terms of revenue it would bring in. So 200 million. To them, that is also classed as lost revenue, because they make these predictions, and using these predictions, they then move that money to another project. Well, based off the money that we project we're going to make from Birds of Prey, we can put this into effect and that into effect. So it has a knock-on effect. So she played every victim card. Oh, it's because I'm a woman, but you're a woman who got the job. It's because I'm a woman of colour, but you're a woman of colour who got the job. You got everything that you're trying to play victim about. All you had to do was make a good film. And you didn't. You didn't. That was the downside. So ultimately, she only has herself to blame. But people like that can't blame themselves because they are perpetual victims. So in actual fact, she was pushing for a sequel. Because if she doesn't get the sequel, then they can kick up a fuss. Oh, I didn't get a sequel because I'm a this, I'm a that. Victim time! And here's your host. Ta-da! Pick one. There's a ton of them. So, we get into this situation that we're in right now. Birds of Prey drops price after 2 weeks on VOD as studios rewrite the rules. Right, so this is slightly more, it's not complicated, but it's slightly more complicated than you think. So a couple of weeks ago, Birds of Prey, after releasing at the cinema on the 7th of February, goes into VOD. You can purchase the film for $20. Now, this is in America. It's not out on VOD here in at least the UK, probably Europe, but at least the UK. We don't get it until the 27th of April. Not that I'm going to spend a penny on this shite. I spent a £5 at the cinema to watch this. Thank goodness that's all I spent. Well, I spent a tenner because I paid for my mate to go as well. I paid a little bit more because I got some popcorn. But put it this way, the film saw a 10 quid note. That was it. And when it comes out on here in the UK, it's just at the moment got to purchase for £13.99, £14. So that's, I think, just a little less than $20. Anyway, that's by the by. So it comes out, purchase only, $20. Normally, what will happen is just as the Blu-ray's about to drop, stuff like that, this is when stuff would normally come out on demand. But we're now in an unprecedented situation because of current day. So they pushed it quickly onto VOD. 2 weeks later, after having it for $20, it's doing so well by the looks of it, they decide to rent it for $5.99. Rent it. Oh, no. So instead of having an established point of sale of your product, it was doing so well, just 2 weeks later, they said, let's just get it rented out for $6. Wow, this film is a massive success. But the reason they did it, as you might see from here, the reason they did it is they needed to hit that #1 on iTunes spot so they can go, the film is a success. It's the #1 film rental on iTunes. Oh my God. This film has had to fail in stages so they can pretend that they got a success. Remember when they were screaming, it's the #1 movie in the world, because it was like the only film that released that week. And then Sonic came out the week later and it went, it's no longer the #1. And then you had all the shill websites going, Birds of Prey, it's the 4th highest grossing movie of the year. Oh my Godsies, it's a success. Well, it was February at the time. Maybe early March. But it was either late February or early March at the time. And cinemas had closed down. And all that we'd had was, fuck you, it's January movies. And it was the 4th highest grossing movie of the year, which was even worse. Success! And the beauty is, folks, these people that are shilling, these people that are going, oh my God, this movie's amazeballs and it's such a... I bet you half of them haven't even fucking seen it. I bet you that a lot of them just basically haven't seen the film. Maybe seen little bits and bats of it. They're not paying to go see this. They've probably seen it if it was given to them as a freebie so they could review it. But do they go spend their money at the cinema? Nah, they don't. They don't. So let's just go a little bit into this article just to give a little bit more context. It's hard to keep up. Just a few weeks ago, first-run movies started shifting into $20 premium VODs. Trolls World Tour went so far as to choose a VOD premiere. But well, I think movies are going to have to do that because there's no cinemas. Now, 2 weeks after Warner Brothers titled Birds of Prey, inverted commas because God knows what it's called at the moment. What is it currently called? You keep changing the name. Debuted on PVOD, it's now available for rental $6. 2 months after its theatrical premiere, the company had initially allowed downloads as well as rentals for the premium price and said it would be a lower rental sometime in April. Pretty much at the start. But unlike some earlier releases, they have done it after 2 weeks. Is it an aberration or the new norm? Okay, let's start spinning it. Look. Look right here, mister. This film has been out for 2 months. Well, it launched at the cinemas 2 months ago. It's out the cinema. It was already leaving the cinema before current day situation happened. Current day situation at the time was predominantly in the Far East, where it wasn't even granted a current release. So that didn't affect it at all. Bombed in Spain, bombed in Japan at later releases. People didn't want to see this film. And so, it's on its way out the cinema anyway. If you look at Box Office Mojo, look at its takes. I mean, its daily takes, not its hot takes from the girls. Or Ewan McGregor. It's time for the patriarchy to end. Step aside, man. I'm Obi-Wan's Soy Kenobi. So it's already on its way out. So they were heading to a VOD. They were heading to a Blu-ray release after, what is it? You got to wait 3 months, 70 days, 90 days, something like that. So they were pretty much already in that period. But, oopsie doopsie whoopsies, it got on them. So now they had the opportunity to go to VOD much sooner. You would think that they would try and use that opportunity to get as much money in as possible. It clearly wasn't selling. And so 2 weeks later, $6, please rent, please get our movie. We have to throw it out for cheap as chips because we need to say we're the #1 movie on iTunes. God, I love this film. I think, I'm not trying to be crass here. I think I've made more money off Birds of Prey than Warner Brothers. I hope you enjoyed the... I think it's true. I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel and follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming links. No, not Twitch for live streaming, YouTube for live streaming. Also, yes, I will be on Friday Night Tights tonight as well, where, once again, we'll be meeting up with Ethan Van Sciver. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.